Now, we were discussing the medial reporting verb. And we did say that the medial reporting verb implies that the reporting verb is in the middle or separates two parts of a sentence. So the medial reporting verb will be in the middle. So now when you're dealing with the medial reporting verb, you will meet two of them, two types of the medial reporting verb. The first one would be like the one we met earlier, or the one we were discussing, we were looking at earlier, where the first part of the statement is interrupted by the medial reporting verb, and then the statement is continued in the second part. In other words, the thought line, the thought is interrupted and continued in the next part. For example, if we say, Jane said mother is a lazy girl, you can see that the thought that was being put across of Jane being a lazy girl is being interrupted in between by the medial verb said mother. Okay, because we want to say Jane is a lazy girl, but we interrupt. So you say Jane said mother is a lazy girl. This kind is called the interrupted medial verb. So in this case now, you will start with opening speech mark, capital J, Jane, comma, close. Said mother, small letter S, comma, open, small letter I, is a lazy girl, full stop, and then close. Remember, you are ending with a comma after the reporting verb, then you open and start the next part with a small letter. This is because the thought was interrupted. That is why we are calling it interrupted medial verb. It is interrupted, so the thought continues. So it starts with a small letter. However, there's a second type. There is a second type. There is a second type. And the second type will be, let me give you an example. The second type will be something like come here. Right, the example, come here, said Jane, mother is not at home. Mother is not at home. So look at that, look at that, Kinley. Come here, said Jane, mother is not at home. So step number one, who is speaking? Step number one, who is speaking? Who is speaking? The speaker is Jane. So once we mark the speaker, then we will say, we will separate said Jane and the rest, or from the rest, using commas. So we'll say, come here, comma, come here, comma, said Jane, comma, mother is not at home. But the next thing you ask yourself is, mother is not at home. The next thing you ask yourself is, when you say, come here, is that talking it? Does it make sense on its own? Bridget, when you say, come here, does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Good. Then if I said, mother is not at home, does it make sense? Mother is not at home. Does that statement make sense?
No.
If I came to you and said,
Yes.
mother is not at home, do you understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Mother is not at home. It makes sense. So come here makes sense on its own. Mother is not at home also makes sense on its own. That means these two sentences do not rely on each other to make sense. So therefore, you are going to say opening speech marks, capital C, come here, comma, and then close. Said Jane. Said Jane. After said Jane, because come here is complete, and mother is not at home is also a complete thought. So after said Jane, you will end with a full stop. Now, you end with a full stop. Then after the full stop, open. After opening, now mother starts with a capital letter. Mother is not at home. Then after home, you have a full stop and then close. A full stop and then close as indicated in that sentence. Come here, say Jane, full stop, open, capital M. Mother is not at home. So when you meet these two, you must first of all ask yourself whether the two parts of the sentence make sense. Both of them must make sense on their own for them to take this format. If either of the parts does not make sense, then it takes the first format. Am I clear up to that point?
Yes. Yes.
Or I am too fast? Am I too fast?
No.
No, good. So you will look at the sentences you are given to decide whether it takes the first format or the second format. But now, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. In the year 2011, is there anyone with a booster nearby? Do you have a booster next to you? Does any of you have a booster? Mercy, do you have a booster with you?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
2011. Are you at 2011?
Yes.
Check 2011 number 18. Check 18 or 19. One of the two. Question 18 and 19 is a statement that is correctly punctuated. Is that the one? Mercy, are you there? Or who is there?
Yeah.
Good. Read 18 and 19. Read the instruction.
For question 16 and 17, select the alternative that best.
No, 18 and 19.
27.
Yes? There's a statement there that begins with Juma. Do you see it? Juma.
Question 21.
Question 21. Okay, sorry. Question 21. Read it. Juma. Question 21. Juma, the teacher asks. Is that the one?
Yes.
I read it. Juma, the teacher asks, where have you been?
Since yesterday.
Yeah, where have you been since yesterday? And the instruction is use the statement that is correctly punctuated, isn't it? So Juma, the teacher
Yes.
asked, where have you been since yesterday?
Yes.
Where have you been since yesterday? Now, what is the correct one? Now, how do we punctuate? We'll say opening speech mark, isn't it?
Yes.
Then capital J, Juma. After Juma, what do we do? Comma, isn't it?
Yes.
Then we close. The teacher asked. The teacher asked. What follows there? Comma, isn't it?
Yes.
Then we open. Then we start with a small letter because Juma cannot stand on its own, right? So a small letter.
Yes.
Where have you been since yesterday? And because it's a question, we end with a question mark. And then we close. Do you see that answer? Is it choice A?
Yes. No.
Choice
C.
C.
C. So Juma, the teacher asked, where have you been since? So you see, Juma does not make sense on its own. It's an incomplete thought. So because it continues in the next side, we are going to start with a small letter after the comma. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
Let us try another one.
Yes.
2015. Go to 2015 now. 2015. 2015. You there? Are you there?
Yes.
2021 or 18, 19?
24.
Yes, question 24. Read. Read number 24.
Let the
Let
children
the children play.
Let the children play, said Sila. Let the children
Play.
play, said Sila. It is
Part of
part
learning.
of
Learning.
learning, correct. It is part of learning. Now look at that one now. Who is speaking? Sila is speaking, isn't it?
Yes.
So let us
Yes.
punctuate correctly. First of all, we have, what do we start with? Opening speech mark, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Opening speech mark, capital L. Let the children play. Let the children play. We have let the children play, comma, said Sila. Now, comma and close, right? Comma and close.
Yes.
Then said Sila. Do we end with a full stop or a comma? Now, let the children play. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, it does. It is part of learning. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So after Sila, we end with a full stop, correct?
Yes.
Then after the full stop, we open. After opening, we start with a capital I. Capital I. It is part of learning. Then a full stop, and then a full stop, a full stop, and then we close. A full stop, and then we close. Do you see it there?
Yes.
What is the correct answer? Choice?
Apple.
Choice Apple. Correct.
Apple.
Choice Apple. You can as well go to the year 2000. The year 2000. The year 2000. The year 2000. I think the year 2000. The year 2000. Are you there? The year 2000. Are you there?
Yes.
The year 2000. Are you there? You're not yet there.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes. Yes.
Good. The statement begins with Subira. Are you there?
Yes.
You see Subira.
Yes.
Inquired who?
Friend.
Fred. How many?
Pancakes do you need?
How many cakes do you need? So how do we punctuate? Let's punctuate together. How do we punctuate? Opening speech mark. Then capital S. Subira. Subira. Inquired Fred.
Fred.
Inquired Fred. After inquired Fred, comma, correct?
Comma.
And then we close, isn't it?
Yes.
Then,
Oh.
sorry. After Subira, we have a comma. And then we close. Then
Yes.
inquired Fred, that is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Then after Fred, comma. Then we open. How many cakes do you need? That is going to be a small H, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So I hope we are now clear up to that point. Are we clear now?
Yes.
Good. So any
Yes.
question? Any question? Any question?
Next.
If you have a question?
Yes.
Yes, Bridget.
The question number 24, 2015 ACP.
2015.
2015, the question is said, let the children play.
Uh-huh.
Why did we put a full stop and the whole statement is making sense?
And there?
Whole statement is making sense.
Yes. However, the statement is broken into two, isn't it?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
broken into two. Therefore, the first statement ends, then the second one starts. There are two different thoughts. These are two different thoughts, isn't it? We have the thought of letting the children play, and we have the thought of telling them that there are two different but complete thoughts. Is that okay?
Yes.
So the
Yes.
first part, which is let the children play, is an instruction, right?
Yes.
Then it is part of learning, is an advantage. It is no longer an instruction. So there are two different thoughts. Okay. So we end the first one
Yes.
to indicate this one is ended, and then we start at the other one, which is independent. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes. That is why we end with a full stop, open, and start with a capital, because the second thought is independent of the other one. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Any other question? Any other question? Yes? Ivan,
Yes.
you saying something?
No.
Ivan, thought I heard your voice. Any question? If there is no question, then I give you mine. So let me give you my own questions. Are you able to read the chat? Are you able to read the chat?
No. No. No.
Are you seeing the chat? The group chat?
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yvonne, are you seeing the group chat?
No.
Click group chat. The chat. Amy, do you see it?
Yes.
Good. So you see the statements I've written there?
Yes.
Good. Yvonne, do you see it?
No.
Yvonne, click chat. Touch chat. Do you see it now? Mercy, do you see it?
No.
Bridget, guide them. Bridget, do you see it?
Yes.
Yvonne, Leah?
No.
Amy, guide your friends. How did you go about it?
We just went to chat.
You just touched chat. Are you using a phone?
No.
A laptop. Oh, all right. Yvonne, Leah, do you see it? No. Bridget, do you see it?
Yes.
Are you using a phone or a laptop?
Phone.
A phone, yes. So what did you do?
We go there to more.
More, correct. And then chat, isn't it?
Yes.
Good. So, Mercy, do you see more?
Yes.
Pardon.
Yes.
Pardon.
When you touch more, do you see chat?
Yes.
Good. Are you able to see them now?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Who was the other one? Yvonne, Leah, have you been sorted?
Pardon.
Have you seen them? Touch more. Do you see more?
No.
Yvonne, Leah, you don't see more.
Yes.
What does yes mean?
I can.
Do you see more? Yvonne, do you see more?
No.
Yvonne, come on. Yvonne, come on. Now, on the chat. Okay, I will be speaking. Let us save time. On the chat, I am typing questions on the chat. Okay? That be okay?
Yes. Yes.
Good. So number one, you are punctuating correctly. Number one. Number one. Number one. What a noisy child she is. What a noisy child she is, said the woman. What a noisy child she is, said the woman. Number two. Number two. Boy. The boy. The boy has arrived. Said Yuma. The match of the fight can begin.
Pardon.
The boy has arrived. The boy has arrived. Said Juma. The fight can begin. The boy has arrived. Said Juma. The fight can begin. The boy has arrived. Said Juma. The fight can begin. Number three. Number three. Mary said. Mary said, someone is posting an echo in the background. Oh, echo is coming from your end. Mary said, she is not here. Mary said, she is not here. Number four. Number four. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Shouted the man. Or you are dead. Keep quiet, shouted the man, or you are dead. Number five, finally. Number 5, finally. These books began the teacher are not for sale. These books began the teacher are not for sale. These books began the teacher are not for sale. So you're going to take those 5. Let's see if you can do it correctly. Take those 5. Let's see if you can do it correctly. And we will discuss the questions in our subsequent lesson. Our next lesson will be tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start at exactly 10. Sorry, today I was late. I was tackling another school. But tomorrow we'll see if we can have the 2 lessons together. But I wish you all the best. If you have any question, you can ask. I would like you to rest for a few minutes before you come in for the next lesson. So if you have a question, you can ask. Mercy, I know you did not get the first part of the lesson. Anyone else who did not get the first part of the lesson? Let's see. So you did not get the first part of the lesson, Mercy, isn't it?
Yes.
Good. So go to the WhatsApp group. I'm posting notes there on direct speech. I'm posting notes on the WhatsApp group so you can use them for your revision. They will help you. That's all.
Yes.
Say thank you. Come on.
Thank you.
All right, see you then. We are coming in at exactly 12. Should have been 12:30, but we'll give you a 5-minute break so that we come back in for mathematics. Is it mathematics next?
Yes.
Yes, for mathematics. Take a short break. Let us meet in 5 minutes time. God bless you. Enjoy the morning. Toodles. Toodles. Okay.